You do it a dozen times a week without reading a single word. An app opens, a little box slides up, and you tap allow. Allow location, allow camera, allow contacts. It feels like a formality. Like clicking away a cookie banner, it isn't. Each one of those taps hands over a key, and the app keeps that key long after you've forgotten you gave it. So, this is every permission your phone asks for, what each one actually unlocks, and the real reason the app wants it. And keep one question with you the whole way down, because I'll answer it at the end. Out of all of these, which single permission gives away more about you than all the others combined? It is almost certainly not the one you're thinking of. Here's the thing to understand before we start: a permission isn't a promise about what an app will do, it's a boundary on what it can do. Nobody at the App Store is checking whether a flashlight really needs your contact list. The system just asks you once in a moment when you're trying to get something done, and whatever you tap becomes the rule from then on. So let's go through them from the one you already worry about to the one nobody talks about. Start with location because it's the one everyone pictures. You assume it means the app can see the dot on the map where you're standing. That's true, but it's the boring half. The valuable half is that location isn't a point, it's a pattern. Where you sleep every night is your home. Where the dot sits from 9 to 5 is your job. A dot that stops at a certain clinic, a certain place of worship, a certain lawyer's office says something no form ever asked you. And most apps don't want any single one of those. They want the trail because a trail can be packaged and sold to data brokers who never had to ask you anything, since you already said yes to a weather app in 2019. Now, the two everybody fears: camera and microphone. And I want to be honest with you here, because this topic is drowning in nonsense. Your phone is not secretly filming you. Modern phones put a little green or orange dot in the corner the moment the camera or mic switches on. It's not optional, and apps can't hide it. So, the horror movie version isn't real. The real version is quieter. When you allow camera access for one photo, you've usually granted it for every launch after that, forever. No reminder. And the microphone? Here's the part that unsettles people. The reason apps don't need to listen to your conversations is that the other permissions already tell them more than your voice ever would. Eavesdropping is expensive and easy to catch. Your location trail and your app activity are cheap, legal, and more accurate. They're not listening. They just don't have to. Which brings us to the one that should scare you more than it does: contacts. Everything so far has been about you, your choice, your data, your call. This one isn't. When you hand over your contact list, you're not giving away your information. You're giving away your mother's phone number, your ex's email, your boss's birthday. None of them tapped anything. None of them were asked. And when enough people upload their address books, a company can assemble a profile of someone who has never installed the app at all, purely from how often they show up in other people's phones. There's a name for that in the industry: a shadow profile. The most invasive thing you can do to a friend is let an app find people you may know. So take a breath because we're halfway, and the second half is where it stops being about the permissions you recognize. Photos. You want to send one picture, so you tap allow, and on older setups, you've just opened the whole library. Every screenshot, every receipt, every image you saved and forgot. And there's a bonus most people never learn: photos carry hidden data inside the file itself. The exact GPS coordinates where the shot was taken, the timestamp, the device. That vacation picture is also a location log. That harmless screenshot may hold whatever was on your screen at the time. Good news, and this one's real: both iPhone and Android now let you share only selected photos instead of everything. The box asks you to choose. Almost nobody notices the choices there. Then, files and storage. Permission to read what's saved on your device. It sounds like the dullest one on the list, and that's exactly why it's useful. Downloads, documents, whatever some other app quietly wrote to disk. An app with broad file access isn't limited to its own stuff. It can go looking through the drawer, and then notifications, which almost everyone allows without a thought, because how dangerous can a banner be? Two ways. First, notifications carry content, the preview of a message, the amount of a transaction, a login code sitting on your lock screen where anyone can read it over your shoulder. Second, and this is the honest one, notification permission isn't really about information leaving. It's about getting you back. It's a permission to interrupt you, granted by you, used against your attention for as long as you keep it. Okay, every permission we've covered so far unlocks one specific thing, one sensor, one folder, one list, which is what makes the last one different and why I've been saving it. It's called accessibility, and it exists for a genuinely beautiful reason. It's how a blind person uses a smartphone. It lets an app read everything on the screen out loud and tap, swipe, and type on the user's behalf, which means it is not a key to one room. It is a key to the entire building. An app with accessibility access can see every word displayed on your screen, your messages as you read them, your banking app as you check the balance, the password manager as it fills a field, the one time code the second it arrives. And it can act, press buttons, approve prompts, move money, all without your hands. That's the answer to the question I asked at the start. Not location, not the camera, not the microphone. The permission that gives away more than all the others combined is the one designed to help people see, because it doesn't grant access to a piece of your phone. It grants access to your phone as you experience it. This is why nearly every serious banking Trojan on Android goes hunting for exactly this one, usually by showing you a fake screen begging you to enable it. Legitimate apps that need it are rare. Screen readers, password managers, automation tools you deliberately installed. If a game or a wallpaper app asks for accessibility, that isn't a feature request. That's the whole attack. So here's what all of this actually adds up to. You're not going to stop tapping allow. Permissions exist because apps genuinely need things, and a Maps app without location is a brick. The shift is smaller than that. It's asking one question in the half second before you tap. Does this app need this? To do the thing I opened it for, a photo editor needs your photos. It does not need your contacts. A flashlight needs nothing at all. And every phone made in the last few years keeps a list. A setting screen showing every permission you've ever granted and who has it right now. Most people have never opened it. When you do, the surprise isn't the app you were suspicious of. It's the one you installed for a single afternoon 3 years ago, still holding the key, still standing in the room, waiting for a reason to look around.